These are three children who inherited one of the most famous names in entertainment history, from the king of pop, Michael Jackson. And today they're worth $150 million each, while navigating vastly different paths in life. Prince, Paris, and Bigi Jackson grew up in the shadow of their father's extraordinary legacy, from his Motown days with the Jackson 5 to creating Thriller, Bad and Dangerous as a 13-time Grammy winner. But 16 years after his death, they've emerged as distinct individuals with their own dreams, struggles, and achievements. When Michael Jackson died on June 25, 2009, he left behind three children: Prince, then 12, Paris, 11, and Biggie, just 7 years old. The king of pop had fiercely protected their privacy at Neverland Ranch and beyond, famously having them wear masks and veils in public to shield them from the media spotlight. But at his memorial service, the world got its first real glimpse of these kids when 11-year-old Paris stepped up to the microphone and delivered words that would break hearts globally. "Ever since I was born, Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine, and I just want to say that I love him so much." That moment marked the beginning of their public journey, one that would see them transform from sheltered children into young adults managing a billion-dollar legacy while forging their own identities. Today, Prince Jackson is 28 years old and recently announced his engagement to Molly Shermang, his partner of 8 years. When he shared the news on Instagram in August 2025, he wrote, "8 years down, infinity to go. Molly and I have spent a lot of time together and made incredible memories. We've traveled the world, graduated and grown so much together. I'm excited for this next chapter in our lives." It's a milestone that would have made his father proud, especially considering Michael's deep desire to see his children find happiness and stability. Prince carved out a unique role as both guardian of his father's legacy and creator of his own path. He launched King's Son Productions in 2016, a company that produces high-quality visual content ranging from music videos to feature films. Unlike his siblings, Prince has largely stayed behind the camera, admitting in interviews that he didn't get that gene for performing. Instead, he found his calling in production and philanthropy. At Loyola Marymount University, Prince co-founded the Heal Los Angeles Foundation, which later became an official nonprofit organization, continuing the humanitarian tradition his father established with the Heal the World Foundation. His approach to carrying on Michael's legacy focuses on the humanitarian aspects rather than the entertainment side. As he said, "I would like to think that he would be very proud because I think this was one of his main goals, was not only to spread his message of positivity and happiness, but to see it enacted in his kids." Prince now lives in a $2.02 million property in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, and has maintained a relatively stable public presence. He regularly attends Michael Jackson estate events and supports various tribute projects, including the upcoming Michael Jackson biopic starring his cousin Jafar Jackson. Paris Jackson, now 27, has taken perhaps the most public and turbulent path of the three siblings. Named after the French capital where she was conceived, Paris embraced the artistic gene that runs through the Jackson family, but on her own terms. "Everyone in my family does music. I mean, I'm a Jackson," she said in 2020. "It makes sense that I'm a musician, but like, a Jackson doing folk indie?" Her journey hasn't been without significant challenges. In January 2025, Paris celebrated a major milestone, posting on Instagram, "Today marks 5 years clean and sober from all drugs and alcohol. To say that I'm thankful would be a poor euphemism." Her openness about her struggles with addiction to alcohol and heroin made her a voice for recovery and mental health awareness. Paris built a multifaceted career as a model, actress, and musician. She signed with IMG Models in 2017 and appeared in films like Gringo. Her music career took her from forming the Soundflowers to pursuing a solo career that blends folk, indie rock, and Americana influences. In 2025, she toured with Incubus and Manchester Orchestra, showcasing her raw vocal style and authentic songwriting to thousands of fans across the United States. Her personal life has been more tumultuous. After announcing her engagement to music producer Justin Long in December 2024, the relationship ended by July 2025. Paris has been open about her sexuality and the challenges of discussing it with her religious family, noting that homosexuality is very taboo, so we don't talk about it, and it's not really accepted. As of 2025, Paris is reportedly working on her second studio album and continues to act, including a guest spot on ABC's Dr. Odyssey. Her approach to fame is markedly different from her father's controlled public image. She's raw, unfiltered, and determined to tell her own story. The youngest, Bigi Jackson, now 23, chose the most private path of the three siblings. Born via surrogate on February 21, 2002, he was originally nicknamed Blanket, which Michael explained meant to blanket someone with love. However, after years of teasing, he adopted the name Bigi around 2015. Bigi became the center of international attention as an infant during the infamous Berlin balcony incident, when Michael dangled him over a hotel balcony to show him to fans below. Michael later expressed regret about this moment, but it became one of the most controversial episodes of his later years. Today, Bigi found his passion in filmmaking. "I'm not that kind of person who sings and dances. When I grow up, I want to be a director," he said. He's already making his mark in the industry, having won the Best Drama Award at the Santa Monica Film Festival for his film Rochelle's, where he served as both director and screenwriter. His filmography includes Kingdom Come and Joni, showing a young artist serious about his craft. After turning 18 in 2020, Bigi purchased a $2.62 million home in Calabasas, California, where he currently lives. He's been spotted occasionally in Los Angeles, including recent sightings driving his Tesla, but maintains an extremely private lifestyle. Unlike his siblings, Bigi has no confirmed romantic relationships and avoids sharing personal details publicly. The financial picture for all three Jackson children is staggering. Each has an estimated net worth of $150 million and receives an annual allowance of about $8 million from their father's estate. The numbers tell the story of one of the most remarkable financial turnarounds in entertainment history, built on the foundation of their father's music catalog, including the Beatles catalog he famously purchased in 1985 through Sony ATV. When Michael Jackson died in 2009, his estate was drowning in over $500 million of debt. However, under the stewardship of executors John Branca and John McClane, the estate has generated an astounding $2.05 billion over the past 16 years. Court filings from October 2025 revealed that Paris alone had received an estimated $65 million in benefits since 2009. And with identical stakes in the estate, Prince and Bigi have likely received similar amounts. The estate's crown jewel deal came in 2024 when they sold Michael's music catalog to Sony for $600 million. This transaction, part of what Billboard estimates could be the largest valuation of music assets ever at $1.02 to $1.05 billion, ensures the Jackson children's financial security for generations. The deal builds on the legacy of Quincy Jones, the legendary producer who helped create Thriller and other masterpieces with their father. Currently, about 40% of the estate's income goes to Katherine Jackson, their grandmother, 20% to charity, and 40% is divided among the three children. Eventually, when Katherine's portion is transferred, Bigi's share will grow to 26.7%, while Prince and Paris maintain their portions. However, the family's relationship with the estate hasn't always been smooth. In 2025, all three children joined forces in requesting a detailed financial breakdown of the estate's expenses. Paris formally objected to the estate's request for legal fees, raising concerns about irregular payments. The estate pushed back, describing her filings as nonsensical and emphasizing their role in transforming Michael's legacy from debt into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. The siblings' relationship with each other appears strong despite their different paths. Prince spoke about how their dynamic has evolved. "At this point in our life, it doesn't really feel like there's that hierarchy of, I'm the older brother. It's more we're all siblings, and we're kind of all on the same level where my sister has her strengths, and my brother has his strengths." Their family structure has been unconventional but stable. After Michael's death, they lived with their grandmother Katherine Jackson until 2012, when their cousin TJ Jackson became co-guardian. TJ became Bigi's sole guardian in 2017, providing stability during their crucial teenage years. The family has faced its share of losses. In September 2024, their uncle Tito Jackson passed away from a heart attack, and photos from his funeral showed Paris and Bigi among the mourners, demonstrating the close bonds within the extended Jackson family. In 2026, as the Michael Jackson biopic approaches, one of the most anticipated developments involving the Jackson legacy is the upcoming film, simply titled Michael. Set for release on April 24, 2026, the film stars Jafar Jackson, Michael's nephew, in the title role. The casting has family approval, with Katherine Jackson involved in the selection process. However, the biopic has generated controversy. Paris has been vocal about her concerns, stating she had no involvement in the film and criticizing an early script as sugar-coated. She's expressed frustration that Hollywood biopics often control the narrative and contain inaccuracies or full-blown lies. Despite this, Prince appears more supportive of the project, reflecting their different approaches to preserving their father's legacy. The film's first trailer, released in November 2025, broke records with 116.2 million views in its first 24 hours, more than any other Lionsgate film, and more than any trailer for a musical biopic or concert film in history. This massive response suggests the world's continued fascination with Michael Jackson's story. Meanwhile, MJ tokens. The musical has been a tremendous success on Broadway and internationally. The show has grossed over $250 million as of February 2025 and became one of the highest-rated audience shows in New York City history. In June 2024, all three Jackson children reunited in London for the musical's opening night, and Prince recently attended its Sydney opening in March 2025. As these three young adults continue to mature, they're each finding ways to honor their father's memory while establishing their own identities. Prince focuses on behind-the-scenes work and philanthropy. Paris channels her artistic expression through music and acting while advocating for mental health awareness. And Bigi pursues his filmmaking ambitions away from the spotlight. Their combined efforts reflect what Bigi has described as their shared mission. That's what each of us wants to do: make things that people enjoy but also benefit their lives. It's a philosophy that echoes their father's desire to heal the world through entertainment and compassion. The Jackson children's story is far from over. With Prince's upcoming marriage, Paris's continued artistic evolution, and Bigi's emerging filmmaking career, they're writing new chapters that honor their extraordinary inheritance while forging their own paths. Prince recently reflected on this ongoing journey. Even now, I'm understanding the full weight of his legacy. As I grow up, as I learn more about his history, his impact is so much deeper than I can fully comprehend. 16 years after that heartbreaking moment when 11-year-old Paris spoke at her father's memorial, the Jackson children have grown into thoughtful, accomplished young adults who are successfully navigating the complex legacy of being Michael Jackson's kids. They've transformed from the masked children the world briefly glimpsed into individuals with their own voices, dreams, and contributions to make. Their story continues to unfold. But one thing is certain: Michael Jackson's greatest legacy may not be his music, his dancing, or even his humanitarian efforts. It may be the three remarkable people he raised, who are now using their platforms, resources, and talents to make their own mark on the world, while keeping their father's spirit of love and healing alive.